Manchester United against Wolves on Saturday. For the first time since September, we haven't had a midweek game. We've had a few days off. Will that make a difference? I expect it to. What I'm going to do in this video is run through my starting 11 prediction for the game against Wolves. Raphael Varane is back and available. Garnacho's available. Rashford, he's a major doubt. I'm going to run through everything that Ten Hag said in his pre-match press conference and run through my starting 11 and my prediction for the game. So make sure you let me know yours in the comments below. And if you want to, subscribe, become part of the United People's TV family. But after the disappointment of the last couple of games, man, and disappointments, I'm being very, very polite. There was an abysmal couple of games, wasn't it? Brighton and West Ham in the same week. But top four is still in our hands, still in our control. Now, we've had the time off this week. What about players and who's available? Raphael Varane is back and available for selection, which is a big, big plus. I'm going to run through exactly why when I run through my 11. Rashford being a doubt. Don't know how we replace Rashford in that team. Right now, we're not replacing Rashford's goals because his goals are dried up a little bit. But with him out, Weghorst not scoring, Martial not scoring, Sancho, it's going to be tough. We need some goals from midfield, I think, on Saturday. But let's run through the starting 11. This was the starting 11 that played against West Ham, and it was a bad game. It was a bad game. It was a tactical move that didn't work. Weghorst in the number 10 didn't work from Ten Hag. Shifting Bruno out wide left to accommodate for Weghorst didn't work. So I imagine that gets changed in this game. But one man who will definitely start in between the sticks is David De Gea. A ridiculous mistake against West Ham. Everybody's capable after of making mistakes like that. Luke Shaw, the week before, threw his hand up inexplicably against Brighton to give away the penalty. This is what Ten Hag said about De Gea in his pre-match press conference. He said, look, we can't ignore it. Individual mistakes are part of football. Sometimes it happens. It shouldn't happen. When you are in the right focus, it will not happen. And that is part of the reset this week. So, with everything that's gone on and been said, and he's going to sign a new contract. I've kind of made my opinion clear on that. I would rather it didn't happen. I would rather Man United moved on. But maybe financially we can't afford to do that this summer. And if we are parking that and we're going to delay it by a year, De Gea, man, it's on you. In the same way that when Dean Henderson was breaking through, he had to prove himself and re-establish himself. He's got to. Because he will not be the guaranteed number one next year. If he makes mistakes, he will go on the bench. Because let's be honest, De Gea is pretty much the only player this season under Ten Hag who's managed to avoid being dropped after mistakes have been made. Like Maguire was dropped, Shaw was, everybody was. Not De Gea. He has to show himself up against Wolves, and this puts a big, big smile on my face to say this, because I didn't expect to be saying this. For the last 4 games of the season, injuries pending, Raphael Varane is back and available. And it's not just the difference he's going to make to defence, because Lindelof, I think, has been playing pretty well. I'll be completely honest, I think Lindelof's even going to start this game, because I think this will happen. I think we'll see Luke Shaw go back to his natural left position. I think we'll see Lindelof shift across, and I think we'll see Varane start there. I've missed him. I've absolutely missed him. We're definitely just a more confident team with him. And the reason we've really missed him, I think, is because Luke Shaw, he's played brilliantly, right? Luke Shaw has played brilliantly on that left-hand side of the centre defence with Victor Lindelof. Nobody could have predicted that we looked as decent as we did. We may have had losses there, but I would say Shaw has been one of our best. Shaw and Lindelof have been still, even in those defeats, some of our best performers, which doesn't really say much for the whole team going forward. But we have massively missed Luke Shaw's qualities down the left flank, down the overlapping runs, and actually getting back into position properly. We've missed him down that left flank a lot. And having him back there and having Varane back in his position, we should be slightly better at playing it out from the back with the ball. I'm not saying that we're going to do it perfectly against Wolves, but we should improve as a direct consequence of that. I think Wan-Bissaka keeps his position at right back. I've got more confidence in Wan-Bissaka now than I do in Dalot. They both kind of go up and down, good games, bad games. Neither of them really are showing the sorts of consistency that Luke Shaw has been doing at left back and left centre back. And that's an issue that they've both got to improve. But I think Wan-Bissaka keeps his spot there. Now let's move into midfield. Let's bring these back into the positions they normally play in. So this was the midfield that started against West Ham. And I've got to say, Casemiro and Eriksen, pull your socks up, man. Something wasn't right against West Ham. When we conceded that goal and everybody's heads just went zoom, It's honestly almost like you pulled the plug out of Manchester United for the last 70 minutes. I didn't really understand it. Declan Rice obviously was having a fantastic game. So was Paqueta. But Casemiro and Eriksen just... Where are... Delia Smith, where are you? Where are they? I don't know what's going on. Because both of them will start this game. This is a game where we've had a week's rest. I think the game... A lot of the team picks itself. One thing that absolutely has to be happening is this, right? Because Bruno Fernandes... Listen, let's ignore that photo. Let's go for that one instead. Bruno Fernandes, that's who I'm looking at for the difference maker against Wolves. That was the player I was looking towards for the difference maker against West Ham. Couldn't really do it out on the left wing. Ten Hag, love what he's been doing this season. He's made some mistakes, and I think shifting Bruno out of position to accommodate for others. Bruno is that sort of guy that, yeah, wherever you want, boss. Where do you want me? Yeah, cool. I'll play in goal. Oh, yeah, I can play in goal. No, nice. Don't play him out on the left wing. Play him in his best position. Of course, for Manchester United now, there are questions, not about him, about Marcus Rashford. This is what Erik Ten Hag said about Rashford before the game. He said, look, Rashford is doubtful. He has a problem, an injury on his leg. He's a big question mark, more than doubtful, a big question mark. So what do we do without Marcus Rashford on the left wing? What I would say right now is we're not exactly replacing his goals, because Marcus Rashford, at this moment in time, goals have dried up a little bit. But this is where the issue has been, a lack of goals. If I'm looking at, now look, for example, we know full well, that's Anthony. We know full well that this lad is available. Ten Hag has confirmed it here. Should have zoomed in on that bad boy. He said he has had 1 more week's training. Definitely, he is available. So you could well see Garnacho start on that left wing. And Garnacho's grown into... We've missed him. Really, really missed having Garnacho. If he's completely fit and he's completely available, he's coming straight back in this team. For sure he is. It just depends whether at what level his fitness is. But Ten Hag there said he is available. He can bring something extra to the team. He can bring something extra to the team. Garnacho plays differently to how everyone plays. Anthony on that right-hand side. There's Anthony there. I like his hot-headed approach, but he has to use it as an advantage. You don't let others wind you up and then get what they want out of it and use your temper as a weakness rather than a strength. That's something that Anthony's got to manage himself individually, and maybe the coaches can help him with that too. But I'd definitely be starting him with that right-hand side. Pellistri, I don't really know what's going on with Pellistri. I never really have understood what's going on with Pellistri this year with Ten Hag. Maybe just doesn't rate him enough. Although every time I've seen Pellistri, he's made a bit of a difference. Either way, I would start Anthony on the right wing and I would start Garnacho on the left wing if he is fit. And of course, this is all fitness related. Who starts up front? Because there's two options. It's Martial and it's Weghorst. If Martial is 100% fit, he can start this game, then Martial starts this game. And we go with the front three of Garnacho, Anthony and Martial without Rashford. Now, if Martial's not fit, then you play Weghorst there. Your team does slow down. That's why Ten Hag went for Weghorst in the number 10 against West Ham, because he was hoping for a similar sort of performance that he saw away at Barcelona, where he held the ball up and brought others into play, rather than trying to be the man running in behind, because he can't, because he's too slow. Didn't work against West Ham at all. Didn't work at all. I think United just need to play a little bit higher up the pitch, right? A little bit higher up the pitch. Bring Eriksen a bit closer. Bring Casemiro a bit closer. Have the confidence here. Play with a higher line at Old Trafford. I mean, we play with a decent enough line, but still we could probably play with a little bit of a higher line. Close those spaces and get Bruno tight to Martial. That's what I want to see on Saturday. And that would be my starting 11. Varane back alongside Lindelof. Shaw going back to his normal position at left back. Wan-Bissaka right back. A midfield trio as it's been all season long. That is all out of shape. Sorry, that's better. Bruno, Eriksen and Casemiro. With the front three of Garnacho on the left wing, Anthony on the right wing and Martial up front. Now, my prediction for this game is 3-0 to United. I think we'll see... We'd obviously see an improved United compared to the last two games because we're at Old Trafford. We're a different team at Old Trafford this season. We need to get that team across the course of a whole season, then we can talk, then we can compete. But also the fact that we've had a week off. For me, I've been putting more... I think the fatigue has impacted this team and these players and this manager more than any of them let on. So I'm hoping that I'm right, and I'm hoping that in the second half in particular in this game, the levels don't drop. Because that's what's happened. Obviously, our finishing has been woeful. Rashford being out, I know it's a bad thing, but he's not exactly been scoring right now. He's kind of... Everybody's flagging. Someone's got to step up. I'm hoping for goals from midfield, from Bruno. That's what I'm hoping for. Martial, if he's fit and he starts and he scores, great. Garnacho bringing him back into the team. I'm confident about that. Varane's back. Garnacho's back. Rashford being injured. Look, it's just some players come in and some players go out. It is what it is. What's your prediction? I'm going for a 3-0. Probably. I might be spectacularly wrong. You know that. I might not be, though. I hope I'm not.